Welcome to the Texas Consilium Show. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. My guest today is Scott Kirksey, and he is the CEO of BenefitMall. Scott, welcome to the show. Let's start off by you telling us something about yourself and your business, so we get some back color, some backstory on this.
Certainly. Well, I'm a Texan, and I'm a proud father of 3 grown children, 2 of whom still live in Dallas, and lovely wife that I've been married to for 35 years. So, well rooted in Texas. BenefitMall is a company with a corporate headquarters in Texas, but we are a national general agency, and I'll explain a little bit more about that, across the country. And so, it has afforded me an opportunity to spend an awful lot of time all across the country that I hadn't done as much in my previous careers before I began working with BenefitMall 20 years ago.
What makes your business special?
So BenefitMall is, as I said, it's a general agency for small group health insurance. And what that means is that the brokers who have clients that are generally small business, although about 30% of our business is much larger groups, they use our services to identify the appropriate products for their group through the tools that we have, the service that we have, and the product knowledge that we have. We enhance that experience, and our constant focus is to make that process of selecting the coverage that an employer wants to provide for its employees, and ensuring that they understand it, that there is the service there to help provide the knowledge of the product, but also to make sure that it gets in place as quickly and as smoothly and accurately as possible. And we influence a great deal of that. So we're doing a lot of that work on behalf of the carriers, and then really our service is directed solely at the broker in terms of how we help recruit them, how we help service them, and then service their clients downstream. So what's special about the company is that we are servicing a bulk of the employees that are out there in the country work for small businesses. And we are every day working to add more and more of those employees for small businesses into good quality health coverage that's provided and insured by all of the major carriers, and it's directed at them.
Taking a look at your business, where do you see it, say, 5 years or more? Where's your vision for it to be 5 years or more out?
Well, the insurance industry has not been in a rush, if you will, historically to digitize, to become much more technology and system based. It is a very relationship business. It's a very customer service based business. We do and have developed a great deal of technology that makes that process less distracting, so that it can really focus on how the person can get coverage much more quickly, smoothly, and feel comfortable about it. There is now a trend to accelerate the move to a more technologically integrated process, and it's twofold. One is there are a lot of players in the arena who are coming out with aspects, components of the service that they're providing. So there's an opportunity for us to provide an integration with some of those that for those companies that want to use it. Also, companies and their employees are increasingly building an expectation that, for instance, my enrollment process should be online, right? I should be able to access all the information about my coverage and my insurance card online. That is accelerating. I think the current environment is certainly going to give that a little bit of a push as well. Our ability to manage this whole process virtually is something that we've had in place for some time and are continually enhancing that. So we were very well positioned. The brokers who work with us were very well positioned as we moved into this new work from home environment to be able to provide that same high quality service and decision tools and counsel, because we had those kind of capabilities. I see that accelerating. I see that more and more of the noise around the process of enrolling, of selecting coverage, of then relying on that coverage and learning about what I need to do if I need to go see a doctor. Where do I look? Where do I click? I think that kind of noise and kind of clunkiness around it is going to fade into the background, and we're really going to be focused on coverage and then on providing the support that people need, the health care that people need when they need it.
Got it. All right. Now, the Texas Consilium's award of business excellence is based on several criteria: employee satisfaction, customer satisfaction, operational excellence, and business performance. How would you describe your company in the way that it exemplifies excellence?
Well, we constantly monitor our NPS scores, and those are, you can't hide from them, right? And our NPS scores, which implies that you've got many more people that support you than people who say, I'm not sure I would recommend you. We don't really have those who say, hell no. But that number is in the high 60s and continues to grow. We are, our value to the carriers is that we are expediting this process. So as a result, our accuracy and our speed to be able to get that process through and bring value to it is at a premium. And we are always at the top of any measure that a carrier utilizes to, frankly, look at us and our services even against their own internal organization. And we are constantly looking for ways to improve that even more, and to ensure that it is not only being designed with accuracy and timeliness in mind, but with the personal experience in mind and people's actual experience in the process. As I said earlier, is it distracting to me because I got through the process, but I'm not sure I was focused on what kind of counsel that I was being given, and understand and internalize that to make good decisions. Our people are really what makes the difference. We are in 30 some offices across the country, in different markets. We are, our average tenure is very high. It is a place that people grow and progress and get promoted. I mean, I started in the company as CFO, So it is a very employee-centric company. Our values, our mission, our engagement with our employees is something that we constantly monitor. We survey our employees, a significant survey annually, but beyond that, we also ask for feedback through little pulse surveys many times throughout the year. Uh, right now, communication is at a premium, and it is uh, absolutely our focus at all times right now to make sure that we are communicating, that our folks stay engaged, and frankly, it's interesting. A lot of feedback we get is, "Hey, this is even better than it's been." Now, we're going to build on that, and I hope that this isn't something we have to sustain for a very long time, but it's good to know that that spirit that we built and that commitment that we built with our people is sustainable and it is secure. Um, and the leadership team at the company is their top of mind every day is, as am I doing as good a job as I could to communicate to my team, and are there engagement needs that I need to meet, which is a challenge in this kind of environment, especially when you are a company that grows and expects and supports growth of our employees within the company. There's a lot of interaction, engagement, mentoring, training that is much more difficult in this kind of an environment. So it does require a lot more attention, and it also requires a lot more uh, consistency throughout it. But we are definitely up to the task, and the people are what is very special about the company and the relationships that they built with really over 14,000 brokers across the country.
Thanks for that answer. Now, if you're speaking to an audience of Texas business leaders and they want to improve their own business and their leadership skills, what lessons through your journeys have you learned that you'd like to most relay to them, to impart the wisdom that you picked up through the travels that you've had to where you are now?
I think the most significant piece of wisdom that I've picked up is that um, don't assume you know everything about a particular issue. That there's very often something behind an issue that isn't. People either aren't comfortable speaking about it, or that it is something that is not completely vetted in terms of its understanding. So the number one thing is listen, and then listen some more. And when you ask questions, ask those questions in a way that it's clear you're asking questions to genuinely get feedback, not to guide someone to another answer. Um, I, I I think that the biggest times that really hit me is in instances that I went into a discussion, a strategic planning session with where I thought the real answer was. And through that process, and the more I sat and listened, as opposed to trying to drive it to that point, the more I saw that there were different ways to look at this, and some were definitely optimal to how I had originally envisioned it. And then having made those decisions, be decisive. People want clarity. It is a difficult thing in this kind of an environment because you don't know when our particular COVID environment is going to be behind us, right? So there is already baked into everybody's world a significant amount of uncertainty. all the more important that we're very clear with our people, what we're thinking, what we're planning, how we see a return to work environment, and and here are the plans for the company. And oh, by the way, here's how we're doing, and we're doing exceptionally well in this kind of environment. It is actually been a very surprisingly strong year and continues to be.
Good. Now, what are you doing in the way of social responsibility? This can be either personally or as a corporation.
Well, uh, as individuals, personally, we encourage our people and celebrate our people as they get involved in civic areas, in different charities in their schools, and encourage them in a way that helps them feel that it's okay if they dedicate time to those things, um, because so much of that shouldn't necessarily always be defined by a corporate persona. We do have a number of charities that, as a company, that we regularly and significantly support, not only in terms of financially, but most importantly in terms of our contribution of volunteer work and and support sometimes in terms of business services. We are very active with the Salvation Army Angel Tree Program. We feel that is a tremendous community outreach and value that it has an impact on people's lives, and that's fun. Race to the Cure, it is something that we are passionately committed to. Many of our employees, and certainly many families in the company, have been affected by breast cancer, and we absolutely join the Komen organization in everything that we can do to support them and raise awareness and raise funds. And and there are then local charities in all of our markets that those offices rally behind, and they make those decisions. It's like I said, it's personal. It's where you live. I mean, part of being a good citizen is community, and you can't define community from 1,200 miles away. Community is where you are every day, and nothing speaks more to community than inclusion of people, and diversity, and building respect and building a conscious awareness of engaging not only the community but also each other and the other teammates that you have, in a way that is service based. And that's why we really pride ourselves on being good community stewards, and more importantly, that we think we are very good citizens.
Good answer. What do you think about your legacy? What have you given any thought to that? What you want your legacy to be?
Well, I would like my legacy to be just a stellar crop of leaders that I've had the pleasure of working with, that I've alongside them have developed, meaning I have also developed alongside them, and we've shared our growth, and that those folks are realizing some of their really heartfelt ambitions, and my legacy would be to leave those people in a position that they are the next generation of leaders not only at BenefitMall, but in their communities as well.
Again, a good answer. All right, now that concludes this portion of the interview that we're going to use publicly. Stick around. I wanted to ask you a couple of questions for the voting panel, but thank you for,
Excellent.
again, for taking the time to be here. Congratulations on your nomination, and I look forward to meeting you in person sometime soon.
Look forward to meeting you.